All right, so in this video, I'm going to discuss the most lethal dual citizenship combination. This gives you Mercosur access, everyone's favorite. It gives you NAFTA, the TN option, a backdoor entry into the US, visa free to Canada, ESTA, and also it gives you APEC. APEC is a big one because it's not a visa free access, it's a business access and a full business access. It not only gives you APEC but an APEC duplication, so you can pick and choose your nationalities when you're exercising your APEC privileges. It's a pretty exciting video that is going to cover a whole lot. And this really stems from, or rather, I should say, I wanted to elaborate on a particular comment that Juan Beltran made on one of my posts, right? We were discussing which is the most powerful citizenship in Latin America's, or rather, let's say the Mercosur specifically. And although Argentina is a clear winner, there's some background issues which a lot of people don't think about, and there's some very valuable commentary. So if you haven't checked that poll out, not only participate but also check some of the comments regarding Argentina. All right, so before we get started with what this entire combination is and what are the options to acquire citizenships in these countries, how to strike this lethal, powerful, potent combination, even if you strike 50% of this, right, get one of these citizenships, you still get APEC and you've covered most of the benefits. So it's going to be super exciting. But before we deep dive, if you haven't subscribed, then make sure to turn on the bell notification and subscribe so you get updated on all the changes. And if you want to get notified of changes even before a video is created and want to get access to our insider community of advanced members, then you can always join this channel. There's a ton of stuff that happens behind the scenes. So be a part of it and contribute your insights to the community. It's a great location where a lot of savvy advanced members discuss several situations, scenarios, bring up interesting topics and stuff like that. All right, now let's talk about Mexico first, right? This is the easiest of the two. It gets you the TN, right? You get the backdoor entry into the US, you find a job, you apply for the TN visa. This is a more straightforward. You don't have to go through all the hassles of the H1 or other types of visas. This is a more connected and an easier visa as compared to some of the other alternatives out there. It gets you obviously visa-free access to Canada, which is a powerful one. Gets you UK, EU, all the countries that matter come along with the Mexican citizenship. In addition to that, it obviously also gets you the full APEC privileges, which is important in valuable countries like Australia, New Zealand, South Korea, and there are 19 other top countries that you're getting the APEC access to. Now, this is not an ordinary visa free, unlike you get with the transitional member countries like US and Canada. This is a full-blown APEC access. So you have a lot of business freedom, right? To start your business, to conduct your transactions across multiple countries, 19 valuable, important countries. Now, how do you get Mexico? A lot of my viewers already know this, but this starts as low as $4,000 in monthly income. So you're not donating. You're not investing, you're simply showing your monthly balances, 4,000 USD approximately, and you qualify for the temporary residency. One of the most beautiful things about Mexico is that it starts the clock. It doesn't have any physical presence requirements off the bat. So you're just simply starting your clock. You can live there if you like Mexico. A lot of expats like Mexico, live there for a lot of time. But let's say you don't have the time right now. That's not a problem. You start the clock and you get over to that residency, which then leads to eventually citizenship. It doesn't matter what kind of residency, whether it's temporary or permanent. A lot of people get obsessed with permanent residency. In some countries, it doesn't matter, where you need a permanent residency to get citizenship quicker. But here, the wait period is 5 years. Now, this can change to either immediately or the fast track option, 2 years, based on several criteria. If you have missed my very important video on Mexico and the changes, there were some recent exciting changes with the Mexican immigration. You can hop onto this video. This talks about all the details about Mexico. The other way of qualifying, which is much simpler, is if you have cash sitting in your bank account, right? So let's say it's around 58K USD. If you have that cash in your bank account for the last 12 months, then you also qualify for the same residency. It's either or, so you can qualify based on which one is satisfied. Satisfies. If you don't have either option, then the simple option is to purchase the real estate in Mexico for a qualifying amount, and then you can get the same residency, the temporary residency, and then you can naturalize as long as you have a year and a half towards the end. So that takes care of your Mexican citizenship. It's very streamlined. I've had a very detailed video with my attorney talking about the certainty, the time frames, the process, and the approach, right, to the Mexican citizenship. So you can return and check my video on this topic. Now let's talk a little bit about Chile. Now Chile has a couple of options. One is the fast track, which is the 2-year route. Based on your eligibility criteria, you can speed things up. You can naturalize in 2 years. After 2 years, you can apply. And then the regular route is 5 years, similar to Mexico. You strike the minimum physical presence in Chile, and then you can naturalize and get this passport. This is an investment, right? Mexico is easy, but Chile is more powerful because this gets you visa-free access not only to Canada but also to the US. You get the full ESTA benefits. You have the full Mercosur benefits. So this is a big one. So having the NAFTA, TN, Mercosur, all the bells and whistles, all the access in the world, it's one of the most powerful passports. This is one of the best investments that you can do for a citizenship, right? And the ways to get residency in Chile, you have multiple options. You can do this through investment is the more popular one. You get the temporary residency. You have a solid business plan, you get the temporary residency. If you're able to then convert this into permanent residency in a couple of years, then you're talking about a wait period of 3 years more. You live in the country 6 months plus 1 day. So there is that minimum physical presence that you want to strike, because you want to create a strong impression when you go to your citizenship interview. And then you are looking at a very important, very useful passport. A lot of people who I talk to, I work with, they don't necessarily have the time to spend that much time, right? The minimum physical presence, they really don't have that much time. They already have a very powerful citizenship, let's say US, Australia, UK. Expats come from those countries. A lot of expats come from those countries. Or let's say someone is in Dubai, they don't care about a Chile passport. All they want is a simple, straightforward option. Then I think Mexico is 50% of the game, right? That gets you a lot in life. So at least that's the one area where you can get started, right? And for someone who's totally savvy, who wants to do that long-term investment, then you have a lot of options in Chile. And if you want to learn about all the options in Chile, I have a very detailed video on the qualifying criteria for Chile. You can return and hop onto this video. This talks about all the options in great detail. Now, if you were to get one of these two, which one would it be? Let me know in the comments below, and the reason why you think you would go with that option, right? That's very important for the community to hear your feedback on which one is the better option, or not better, but which one makes more sense if you had to pick one. And if you want to get started with any of these options, you can always click the link, book a call. We can discuss what's the best and the fastest option in your case, and also get you started. And all right, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, and catch you in the next one.